Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 8th of February. Every week I will look at the charts for a few different stocks as requested by you. Just email us at mail@fairmontequities.com. Limit of one per person and no guarantee that your stock will be covered. Make sure that you share this video on social media so we get more requests and more chances to uncover some great opportunities. Also, just take note of our disclaimer. Any advice here is general only. First one we have is Wrecks RXM. So this is a daily chart going back 1 year. We can see that like a lot of other small stocks, it's done nothing for a while, and then towards the end of last year it's shot up on volume. We can see the volume here on the up days, and every time it has a bit of a congestion, it does sell in lower volume. So that's a positive sign. This is the weekly chart going back about 4 years. So obviously, if it's going to get back up to these levels, there's still a long way to go. So basically, the way it's trading at the moment is a positive, and if I was holding this one, I'd be expecting more upside. Alrighty, WGN, we can see this is a new one. Only been listed, looks like about a month. So can't really add too much from a charting perspective, except the fact that it's at least going up, so that's a positive. Of course, had that initial move up in January, and then it's obviously just corrected back only slightly, and then it's managed to shoot up again. A few negative days with the market obviously affected this stock a little bit, but it's not going to move with the overall market by the looks of it. So overall, it's tracking quite well. Okay, on to one of the largest stocks, Woodside Petroleum. So this is a daily chart going back about a year. This is one that I like, and those who follow my advice should know that from back here, we're expecting it to drop to under $30, no lower than 28, and that was a good buying opportunity. Broke out of this base, and then we could see the big run up since then. So it looked particularly bullish when it broke through resistance here, but unfortunately got sold off fairly sharply here. So some of our clients who were sitting on pretty good profits got out. But longer term, I still like the look of Woodside. Short term, I think it's going to pull back towards this sort of $31 area. If we have a look at, if we just get the Fibonacci tool and just have a look at the recent run up, we could see it's just gone past the 38.2% retracement. I'd be looking at somewhere closer to a 50. More bearish case is the 61.8. So if I just put a line there, I'll just get rid of this. Yeah. So at worst, it does a 61.8, which brings it just under 31, and coincidentally, that happens to be some very obvious support, because we could see that earlier on that was quite a key resistance level. So ideally, we can pick it up just under 31, but I'd be happy with anything under 32. I think mid 31s. I wouldn't want to get too cute and wait for the last 50 cents. I'd be happy to pick it up around here, and then I think it can resume that uptrend. Okay, Benjamin. Don't even know what this one is, I have to admit. BHD, it says on my screen Benjamin something or other. We can see here in terms of liquidity, not much. This is a daily chart. Looks like it's only been listed for under a year. Obviously didn't start life too well, but at the moment it's looking better. So started this year with a bit of a bang, and we could see volume coming into the stock here. Bit of a trading range, but obviously the market's been a bit iffy. But so far, I'd say that I'd expect this one to keep heading higher. The next one we have is Senex Energy, SXY. So as we can see here, it's been recovering fairly well since 2016. It's just stalling at the moment, so we can see that it's gone through this high from early 2017, and then quite a negative candle there. This is a weekly chart, and then it unfortunately last week it got a bit of price rejection higher up. So it looks like it is just going to congest here a bit, but I think the overall picture still looks pretty good. Moving to a daily. Yeah, obviously been chopping around, but we could probably get one of these sort of flattish corrections. So we might just see CENX just use up a bit more time here, and then it'd be ready to push through 40 cent mark in a convincing way. Sorry, the next one is Genworth, GMA. Obviously been belted the last couple of days, like many stocks. I haven't been a fan of this one. I think we've covered this one a number of weeks ago, and my concern was, even though at the time, it looked like we had this sort of triangle, where because it ran up into the triangle, there's a good chance it could break higher. I just didn't like the look of the triangle, the look of the price action within the triangle. So I just don't like these, savage sell-offs. Of course it bounced, but, I'd rather see a sell-off occurring over a longer period of time and the moves up happening very quickly. Sort of similar to what we're seeing here, but preceding it was a bit of savage selling. Obviously it's broken through here. I think in a normal market, I'd say that's a negative, but the overall market's been a bit dodgy the last couple of days, so we can't hold it against GMA. It might recover and get back into the range. I think if it can do that in the next few days, that's a positive. But if it sort of retests here and then, I'll just zoom in. So if it sort of trades up to here and then bounces back down, that would be a negative. And then I'd be looking at a retest of this 2016 low. AGL is the next one. So what's clear is a bit of a downtrend here was broken, retested, jumped up, and then this big failure here, unfortunately. And ever since then, it's just been drifting back to this line, but you can't really say it's overly bullish. It really needs to do something here. So obviously it's retesting this low and slightly exceeded it. Again, hasn't been the best few days on the market. It really needs to jump back up here. It needs to show that all the buying wants to come in the mid-22s. I think if we can't see a lot of buying come in at this level, we're going to be looking back towards this price range for support. So that's potentially $20 or just under. PSC, I'd have to say it's not looking good. I know it's sort of had this really good run up at the end of last year, like a lot of other stocks, volume coming in. But we could see that as soon as it's gone to a new high, this is a weekly chart, just zoom in a bit. As soon as it's gone to a new high, it's just been smacked down. Yes, the market has been a bit iffy, but it's not doing it from a cheap level. So I'd be surprised to see a lot of buying wanting to take advantage of this pullback. Again, different story if it happened down here and the stock was something which was maybe fair value and now became cheap, or was cheap, it became cheaper. But after a big run up here, I think you'll probably see a bit of selling more back down towards the 4 cent mark. And finally, Credit Corp. This is one that we've traded in the past, and coincidentally, we're going to have this in our report for next week. So this is our Tuesday research, our paid research for clients and those who pay for it. If you haven't tried it, you can sign up to a free trial. On the email that came out today, there's a button there to do that. So we're going to have a look at this one in further detail. I can't sort of give you an opinion on it yet. We're still looking at it in terms of the fundamentals, but in terms of technicals, it is looking weak. Obviously, this is a weekly chart, so we've got a bit of a sell-off from this week, of course, but clearly it was getting sold off before that, and this is after they reported. So I'm expecting a pullback, probably back towards this sort of $18 zone. We can see that for a period of time there, it was a bit sort of range bound. It might test that range, it might go back into it. Either way, at the moment, I wouldn't be rushing to buy it. Well, that's it for today. Remember, send in your requests and I'll have a look at your stock next week for you. And do the right thing by everybody and share this page.